Hey everyone, it's Bryan Caplan here with the Bigger, Better Biz community, where I equip you with the tools and know-how to grow that bigger, better small business. Today, I'm here with my good friend and colleague, Rayanne. Rayanne, how are you?
I'm doing great, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm so glad you're here with me. We've been working together quite a bit through the Grow with Google program, and now we get to work on your business, your passion project. Can you tell us a little bit more about Milkhouse Gifts?
Absolutely. This is a company my husband and I decided to start during COVID, and it's an online unique gift store where we're offering things that him and I have been handmaking for years and giving as gifts. And people were always like, why aren't you selling this? Why aren't you selling this? And finally, last year, it was just kind of like, okay, why aren't we selling this? So it's, custom cutting boards to heating pads, personal care products, bowls, all sorts of things. And we love doing it, and it just excites us every day that we get to work together with it.
And how is it working with your better half?
He definitely is my better half, so you got that right. Um,
Other
we've
half, other half.
better half is definitely something, but we've always had this thing because I do have other companies. I do photography and I do marketing, and he's had a custom woodworking business. Whenever we're in each other's space, we respect that person understands their space. So we defer to them and let them kind of guide us and tell us what to do. And then when it comes to the Milkhouse gifts, I make certain things and he makes certain things, or he'll teach me how to make them so that when he's busy doing whatever, I can kind of jump in. Or when it comes to marketing, he defers to me. When it comes to building something and making templates, I defer to him. So respecting each other and deferring to each other when we need to has made it very easy to work together.
Love that. I'll tell you from experience, I've worked with my wife on several different organizations, and some nights I had to sleep on the couch.
We
So
haven't
I'm
had that
glad
yet.
that you're
Hopefully we won't.
I'm glad you're coexisting. So today what we wanted to look at, I know you want to look at the website, look at some SEO with your e-commerce shopping cart, and then also take a quick look at Google My Business, right?
Yeah, I mean, I am a marketer. That is my background. I know I can always learn something new,
Of course.
and you're my expert, so I'm deferring to you as far as just making sure we're doing the right things, especially where we're online only. People can't come to a store. And so I think it's a whole different beast.
So I already have some good ideas for you, and there's what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Let's
Okay.
start from, we'll actually go backwards from what I said. So we will look
Okay.
at the Google My Business first
Okay.
and just take a really quick look. And then I'm going to give you some high level stuff of what you can do. And then from there, we'll look at how you're showing up in Google, how your site's being indexed, because that will give us a really good bird eye view of what we're doing with the pages, how we can improve SEO.
Okay, and already have a question for you.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it says that I open at 5 p.m. because I do have a daytime job.
Mhm.
I do that because I want people to be able to contact me during that time. But I did have somebody say, well, it says you're open. So I don't know how to do it where we're technically an online store, but I want people to feel like they can reach out anytime. So I wasn't sure the best way.
So knowing that you have your full-time job and you have your other businesses, it's one of those things. For some reason, the Google business profile does not allow you to just say by appointment only, or schedule blah blah blah. It gives
Right.
you the option to add a scheduling link. What I would do is just do it regular hours,
Okay.
and then in the description, what we can do is tackle that and say, hey, appointment required, which you already have as an attribute. But hey, by appointment only, we work different hours, but we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So it's
Okay.
more just so being proactive. I would change those though, because of course now it looks like you're closed. So,
Right.
but just so I understand too, I mean, no one's coming to your place of business. It's just if someone reaches out and asks you a question.
Right.
Okay. So even let's say that they called you. When they call you, does it go to your cell phone?
It does.
Okay. So either look into using Google Voice or get like a phone.com thing where you're paying $5 or $10 a month and you can do an outgoing greeting,
Okay.
or you just use your phone as the outgoing greeting and say, hi, you've reached Rayanne with Milkhouse Gifts. If you're calling during business hours, we'll make sure we get back to you as soon as possible. So however you want to do it, if you want to save money, just use your own outgoing voicemail. If you
Okay.
want to make it a little bit more professional, go to a dial pad or phone.com and use that instead.
Okay.
Yep. But what I would do is have it routed somewhere where you have that outgoing message, basically telling them, hey, go to milkhousegifts.com to order, or if you're going to leave a message, we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Got it.
So breaking it down, just so people understand, when this is a Google My Business profile, also known as a knowledge card or Google Business profile now. So we've got the photos. I love that you've added photos in here. You even have videos, which is cool. So we've got a video where you are, so you're actually, this is how you're burning.
This is we're testing a product. So that's a fire starter.
Oh,
and my husband didn't believe it was going to work. So we're like, all right, let's go test it. And I'm like, there's going to be people like him that are going to say, does that really work? So I said, well, here's the proof.
Yep. So take that. That's a good video. Take that and then pop it into, I think you can edit videos in Canva or iMovie or Adobe Spark or one of those on your phone. Okay. And then just pop the Milkhouse Gifts logo on it and say new product test fire starter.
Okay.
So I have context as to what it is. I thought it was more so like you're burning some design into wood.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So, and you gotta realize people that are watching the stuff, they need the context. This is absolutely gorgeous.
So one of my blogger friends, she's wicked awesome about letting me bring my products to our photo shoots, and she set this up for me.
That's beautiful. What a nice, and I love the board and everything else. That's so cool. So your husband's doing all the woodworking.
I actually do the bowls and he does more of the cutting boards.
Love it. So here we go. Oh, a little Lazy Susan action, huh?
Yeah, and it was really cool because we made them this year to include that hole in the middle for your umbrella.
Love it.
So we're calling them Lazy Summers.
Lazy Summers. See, again, new product, Lazy Summers, Milkhouse Gifts. Get it at milkhousegifts.com. So just those little things. Now you added these back in May, which is great. Obviously, just add more. Yep. When it comes to Google My Business, the big thing is that you're getting points. Have you ever seen the show The Good Place?
No.
Great show on Netflix with Ted Danson. And Kristen, I don't remember her name, but I don't remember her name. But basically the idea of The Good Place is that the more good things you do, the more points you get. And then if you got enough points, you get into the good place, into heaven. Okay. So when we're talking about creating a profile, you need those points to get to the good place, which is showing up here or showing up in the local pack or on maps. Okay. So photos get you points, right? They're called signals. So photos give you points. The more photos and videos you're adding up, the better. Especially your business is so visual in nature. I want to be seeing all your products. I want to see videos of you carving the bowls, of your husband putting together the cutting boards, okay. All different kinds of stuff. Even a video of you and or your husband or together where you're talking about, here's the inspiration for our lazy summers. We were thinking about this. We're like, I'm so, like, why can't we figure this out? And then it was that simple. It's like a Shark Tank moment. Put a hole in it. Now we can put it in with the umbrella. So just kind of fun stuff too, that gives a story to the products.
Okay.
What you want to be doing for you, since you're retail, you should be adding up, I would say 2 to 3 photos every week if you can. So call it like 8 to 10 photos every month.
Okay.
Right. And constant drip feed. You have 5 reviews, 5 stars, which is great. So we've got them some time ago, that's no problem. Go back, and I'm sure you've had plenty of customers, even if they're friends, but they've purchased from you, solicit a review.
Okay.
The thing with the reviews though, is I want you to picture, I'm full of like analogies today. I want you to picture like a hospital show, like where the nurse pops in an IV bag, right? So with a saline drip, if the nurse puts the IV into the arm, then obviously it's going to drip, drip, drip. If the nurse squoze the bag, then it would be way too much and the saline would be rejected from the arm, right? Same thing here. If you have reviews coming in once every couple of weeks, so like try to get, 2 reviews every 2 weeks, 4 or 5 reviews a month. That's a good feed. It shows that you're continuing to sell products. Your business is still, active, and it's signaling to Google that you're providing a good experience.
Okay.
You want to drip feed those reviews. So start getting those. Go write out a list of your lowest hanging fruit or your best customers and say, hey, could you leave us a review? Here's the link.
Okay.
Do that and reviews, again, points. You're getting points. That's a big signal for Google. Your response to reviews is also a signal to Google. It's also
Mhm.
getting you points. The other thing that people don't realize is that your response to reviews is actually an SEO benefit. So,
Oh,
so
okay.
think about this, whatever they're typing in, Milkhouse Gifts. So they typed in the name. Great. We're getting some brand recognition. Discussing a custom project with Dale Rand made my wife and me feel valued and important. I love that. Not just as customers. So even if you're talking to someone, you're like, can you write a review about your specific product, the lazy summer, this bowl, this charcuterie board, whatever it
Okay.
is, to have them kind of prompt them to mention that product. But if they don't, your response could say, hey, thank you, Terry. It was so wonderful working with you. Dale and I are really happy that you and your wife are happy. We loved building the XYZ product. Hey, if we ever work together again, maybe we've thought of a great idea for this. So it's an upsell opportunity too. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. And the cool thing is when you respond to a review, an email is sent to, in this case, Terry or Jeannie. They get an email from Google My Business saying, hey, Rand or Milkhouse Gifts just responded to your review. Now you're getting another impression in the inbox.
Got it.
So not only that, now you're getting an impression where you're upselling. And now anyone reading these reviews to kind of sniff you out, do their due diligence before they order from you, is now seeing what you made and an upsell. And they're seeing that you're wonderful people to work with.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
really, really valuable there. You started doing products. Depending on your business category, you can add different products. So you've got the wooden lazy summer, wooden lazy Susan, right? Let's and then you have your wooden pizza peel and wooden pizza cutter, and then wooden cutting board. Awesome. Let's click on one of these and see what you did. Nice. So you've got the photo. Welcome to the new lazy summer. Enjoy this lazy Susan style board. You're doing it right. So you've created this wooden lazy summer, aka lazy Susan. So you're putting the keywords in there. You've got the price in there, which is great. And you filled out the description, which a lot of people don't do. This again, you're putting in keywords: lazy Susan, high quality wood cutting board made from beautiful maple wood with resin. You know, here's the measurements. You're basically telling them everything they need to know right here. So
Okay.
great job. Keep that up and keep populating products. And you had it so that if someone clicks on order online, wonderful. They're brought right to the e-commerce page where they can buy it, which I love. So that you get 5 gold stars from me for doing that. That's awesome. I want to definitely see, like, how many products do you think you have? How many SKUs?
When I put them into Facebook and Instagram, it was like 142.
So obviously choose your best ones, your top
Yeah.
sellers.
Well, that's why I started with those 3. I'm like, I'm going with my high end ones first.
But if you get into a mode where you've got the photo, you have it all saved in a folder, you're uploading the photo, copying and pasting the description, adding the link. I mean, you can knock out 5 or 10 in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Quick. The more you're doing, the better. The reason being, Google My Business has direct searches, right? Where people are searching for your brand name or your address. You don't have an address in this case, or discovery searches where they're searching for your business category and or a product or service you have. So the more products you have, the more SEO benefit you have of showing up with your profile. Definitely worth it. Questions and answers. So and when you get into your Google Business dashboard, you're not going to see questions and answers. It only lives on this knowledge card, on the business profile, when someone searches for you. So what you want to do is you can go in here, you can be signed in on your milkhousegifts.com email address and still click on ask a question and type in, do you do custom orders?
Okay.
So look, once people are typing in that question, it's automatically grabbing from your reviews. Their customer service, which is off. This is not helpful. Well, custom touches, yes, there you go. But I'm going to post that question. Done.
Awesome.
So now when I refresh the page, I'll refresh it once more. We should be showing one question right here. Do you do custom orders? You can go in and answer those. So take your top 5 or 10 frequently asked questions. I want you to ask them and then answer them and use it as an SEO opportunity again. Okay. That too, another signal, more points for Google
Now,
profile.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
One of the questions we get asked, and I'm sure I could word it to be SEO helpful, but one of the questions we get asked is like how to take care of them.
Yeah,
So is talking about that okay? Because it's more talking about the oils we use, but I'm still going to be mentioning like the wood products.
by all means, you should
Okay.
be. I mean, that right there. That's content for days. It's email content, it's social media content, it's a blog post, and now it's also questions and answers. How do I take care of my wood cutting board? How do I
Okay.
take care of my charcuterie board? You could ask the same question in 5 different ways and just recommend, here's the polish we recommend, here's how to do it. In between, use soap and water and air dry it.
Now we do have a blog on how to take care of it. I have a blog writer that helps me out.
Awesome.
And so if I was answering that, could I say answer it, but then say for more information, refer to
Yeah,
and
jump to our website or jump to the
okay.
blog. In the questions box, I don't know that you can have a link. You're only
Okay.
allowed to link in products and posts from what I know.
Okay.
I might be totally wrong, but just you can still put the link in there and say copy and paste this. So test it and see if it shows up. I've never done it. Or just say visit our blog on the website and
Okay.
you'll see the information. So pop those questions in, try to get to 10. If you can do more, do more. The cool thing is the questions will be sorted eventually. So if someone likes the question or the answer, they can like it. Then it's getting into social proof. So people are liking it up so that the more relevant questions are showing up.
Okay.
Okay. Then we've got your description. So here again, you don't take out the LLC. You don't need the LLC.
Okay.
But Milkhouse Gifts is owned and operated by husband and wife, Fran and Dale Pellerin. So great. You've got a good story in there. One thing you can do too is just mention, hey, this is a passion project. We still have full-time jobs or we're still doing everything. So if you do contact us, please know we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Okay.
It looks like, did you update this too to mention Father's Day since we've got it coming up?
So I did a lot of these edits a couple weeks ago, so it was
Gotcha.
perfect timing.
Gotcha. I would even say, obviously it's good for Father's Day. I would even say, for Mother's Day, Father's Day, blah, blah, blah. So mention Mother's Day too. And then we've got, sometimes the business profile will show your profiles from around the web. There's no way to dictate why Google would show that or not.
Okay.
Here we've got your wooden cutting board. So what you did.
I did it as events when
Okay.
I was first learning how to use Google My Business years ago. I was told, and this could be wrong for now, but I was told in order to keep a post up there for a little bit, do it as an event.
Yep. It definitely. So here's where, when we're talking about the good place again, right? We've got this idea that you can create a post and it would live, forever. You could have it be until the end of the year and then it's going to live till the end of the year. But what Google would like to see is that you're posting once a week, if not more.
Okay.
So you want to get into a habit, like you can do it as an event, but really more so, I would do a product post. That way it gives you more information. You can put in the price of the product. You can still link to it and everything. That would probably behoove you better. This is more of like, if someone's really busy and they want to have it live for 3 weeks, but you're not getting that benefit of the points that you need.
Got it. Okay.
So there you go. So overall, good. The things that I would say are try to get up to 10 reviews if you can by the end of the month. Update your description just a little bit, remove the LLC, add in products, try to get to 10 questions and answers, and try to get to 10 products as well. And just put the time into those. That's going to really help you. Definitely.
Great.
And add more photos like we were talking about. Okay. So now we've looked at that. The one thing that I want to also look at, I'm going to click on images really quick because people search visually.
Hey, there I am.
There you are. So you own it for Milkhouse Gifts. There's the logo. There's your candles that you make.
The left is a candle. The right is a sugar scrub.
Okay, very cool. And we've got more. So you're optimizing them properly, which is wonderful. So people are seeing your Milkhouse. You're owning it. Even Milkhouse Gifts right here. That's great. So
and the second row far right's mine too.
The pizza?
That's our pizza peel.
Nice. So that means we're winning when it comes to the visual game. What is your site built on?
Squarespace.
Squarespace. Okay. So there's a way, and actually I just taught this. This was the first time I taught it, a new webinar, and it's about selling online with e-commerce. There's a way for you to actually add all of your products into Google Merchant Center Are you familiar with Merchant Center?
No.
Okay, you're going to want to check out Merchant Center. So just go Google Merchant Center. You create it with your Google account. You can upload a spreadsheet that has your product ID, product name, price, yada, yada, yada. And you can add an image. You can upload it to Google Merchant Center for free. And what it does is it assigns that these products, these images are products. So see here how it denotes product.
Yeah.
You can get that too. It's
Okay.
totally free. And then it will fill Google Images with your products.
That's awesome, because I've already had to create that spreadsheet for Facebook and Instagram shopping.
Yep.
So it's like, I already have it there.
You got it. Yep. So it's just a matter of doing that. And then what's cool is once you actually have that fed into Merchant Center, Google allows you to, then you can create these product ads if you wanted to. So you could choose certain ones that would show up right here.
Okay.
Yep. So that's a really cool tool. I'm doing it with a whole bunch of our e-commerce clients right now, and it's definitely helpful.
Awesome.
So now let's look at how Google indexes the site. And what I'm doing right here for people watching is I'm basically using what's called a search operator. The way that Google works, when you search Google, you're not searching the entire web. So you've heard of like the dark web before, Silk Road, all these places where really bad things are happening. Google does not index that. People don't want it to be indexed on Google. So if you think about it, Google is like the index at the back of a textbook. And this right here, I'm telling Google, hey, I only want to see what you've indexed related to this site, milkhousegifts.com.
Okay.
So for us, what we're seeing is 17 results. And then I can break down your different pages, your contact, home, about, catalog, your blog, and then certain product pages, pizza cutter, bath soap, candle, flag cutting board, have a little faith. So, and then I can go to the next page too. But one thing that we want to make sure we're doing, so with Squarespace, I know that by default, your website title, which is Milkhouse Gifts, they can add it on as an addendum to each of the different pages, right? Okay. That's totally fine. The good thing is you have a short business name, so it's not taking up a lot of characters. But the opportunity that you have here is that you have about 60 to 80 characters that you can use for a page title. Okay. So we want to say like custom gifts or thoughtful gifts or homemade gifts, blah, 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 whatever it is, Milkhouse Gifts. So I would want to change the page title for the homepage and then update all of these too, about our small business or about our gift line or whatever it is, about our custom gift business, Milkhouse Gifts. So this is where what you're going to do to give you an idea of, and I'm just shooting off the top of my head, but we might go to g.co/trends. And this is where we could look for, let's say,
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift, and that's always on there. Barbecue gifts, let's just say. So we can see if something with Google Trends, we see the relative popularity. This is in the United States, which you're servicing everywhere, but let's just bring it local to Boston. So it doesn't even have enough. So let's just say gift ideas. So gift ideas versus, let's say, Father's Day gift versus
Gifts for him, they said was popular.
Gifts for him. There you go.
Or guess not.
But that's because, well, let's see if I take out ideas because that's very general. Then let's see. Gifts for him. Okay. Gifts for dad. How about realtor gifts? Nope, that's flatlined. See, so the cool thing is we can compare all these different terms. You can get an idea. So February 7th through the 13th, Valentine's Day, gifts for him was huge, right? How about housewarming gift?
Another big one right now should be wedding gifts.
Wedding gifts,
I would think.
So there we go. Let's get rid of gifts for him because it has that anomaly. So now we're seeing a little bit more. you can actually see here wedding gifts 27. So that's growing. It's on an uptrend. So one of your pages could just be you take all your products, put it into a wedding gifts category, and now you've got a page for wedding gifts.
Got it. Okay.
And that's where I would go back to the Google site search. Can't see it. And I would see one of these pages saying wedding gift ideas or wedding gifts, Milkhouse gifts.
Now, how do they pick these? Because like definitely my sugar scrubs were not one of my most popular products, but yet they listed on there.
It's actually showing all of them. So this is showing the first results. And then if I go to page 2, wide open wavy leaf earrings. So
But I have way more products listed. So that's why I'm surprised like they picked the earrings. Have a Little Faith is an earring. Bath soak is like there's probably 10 different bath soaks on there, but they picked that one.
I'm wondering if, let's see, you've got a whole bunch of products in here. What I'm wondering is if the page is there's an option in Squarespace that you can make the page searchable.
Okay.
Is it maybe toggled off and you just have to toggle it on?
Okay, I'll check that.
It could be that. Definitely, because when you create a new product, it might be that it's toggled off by default and you have to just make it available for Google to index.
Okay.
That would be my guess. The other thing is, let's say that you just, when did you add all these products? Recently?
No, over the past, I would say 4 or 5 months.
Oh, okay. Are you using Google Search Console?
No.
Okay. Here we go. Here's another one for you. So basically, whenever you build a site, the things that you want to do, let's use this one. The things that you want to do is you want to set up analytics, set up Google Search Console, and since you're selling products, set up Google Merchant Center, right?
Okay.
Search Console is basically your kind of portal to the Google bot, to getting indexed by Google and seeing how Google sees your website.
Okay.
So what you do is, as long as you have your Google Analytics, you can go to g.co/search console or search.google.com, and you'll be able to create a new property for milkhousegifts.com. And one of the things that you want to do is submit a sitemap. So usually your sitemap is like sitemap.xml. That's usually what you type in. I'm just going to test this on this one and see if it actually exists. I don't even know. There we go. It exists. So what I just did is I just said to Google, hey, here's my table of contents or my index for all the pages on my site. I want you to come now index my site. So it's like putting up a smoke signal and getting Google to come look at your site. So you may have done all those changes and Google just hasn't been notified to come back and actually index all that stuff.
Okay.
So you'll want to use Search Console for that.
Okay.
We're Google heavy in tools today. But let's see. And then looking at the pages themselves, the one thing that I would look at too, just because, with shopping and when we're building e-commerce sites, it's like people want to look and then know how to buy really quick. And I know that Squarespace is a little limited in its e-commerce functionality, but I would look to see if you can get rid of this white space right here. Try to move everything up as much as you can.
Okay.
That buy button is above the fold line.
Okay.
Yeah. Just do that. And then even I know that you can change, there's a way to style so that you can change this button. Like you have the gray, you have the red. I would make this button like a red.
Okay.
Your logo so that people are seeing it and they take action.
Got it.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You did a great job though. For folks watching, this is how you set up a product page, because you have the title, you've got the price right there. You talk about what's in it, what's included. And then you might also so you're doing the upsells right here, which is great. And I love it because that's going to help you increase the average order size, right? And the average cart value, which is what we want to do.
Perfect.
So yeah, just a little bit of formatting here. I think even you might see better conversions too, because people will figure out how to do it. The other thing, if I go like this, if I just squeeze the window, now it pretends like it's a phone. So I can see the image. And then right here, notice how it's helping me choose the color. And then I can add to cart right there. So the mobile version is actually better optimized for people to make it quick because it puts the description down below. And then we've got the images and such.
Okay.
Yeah. Overall, I'd say you just honestly just use a few of those things. Google Trends to find out keywords, Google Merchant Center to put all of your products in, to Google to show up in Google Images and identify them as products, Google Search Console to connect with the Google bot and put up that sitemap so that you can get indexed. And then, yeah, Google My Business, just add those things that we were talking about and continuously add those so that you can continuously get that value and that presence in local search.
Awesome.
Yeah. Any questions you have? Because I know that I talk a lot during these sessions. Like, my mind is just going. So do you have any questions or anything that you want to cover?
No, I mean, I definitely asked the ones as they were coming. But I completely get it. When I get on a subject, sometimes I can just go. But no, I feel good about this, and I have my homework,
Yep.
and then I'll go from there.
But I love what you're doing. The other thing that I would do is, obviously you're selling retail. The other idea is, can you create, let's see, like a blog post. Let me just look at your blog before I pontificate. From the creators. So I would style, again, Squarespace is kind of screwy. I would style this blog page, right? Change out this giant header image, make it shorter so that we get right to the blog right away.
Okay.
Get content. And then there's this huge white space right here for
Well,
whatever.
there should have been another blog.
Let's see.
Um,
It could just be Squarespace. I know that I can click on something. There we go. Someone special for everyone in your life.
yeah, that's weird that it wasn't showing.
Is the text white? That's weird. How to be kind to the earth and yourself, how to care for wooden cutting boards. That's the one we were talking about.
Yeah, and when she writes them, she tags the products that she's talking about.
Yeah, let's go in this one and see. Wood cutting board. Awesome. So you're doing the text links, which is a best practice. Nice use of white space, good paragraphs. I add in 1 to 2 images to the blog post and link them over to the specific product. The other thing I was going to say is either make a page or make a blog post about, gift ideas for realtors. So start doing the major holidays, and then what you can do is you can make those legacy posts or pedestal posts or column posts or whatever they're calling them now. Basically, you build the post, right? So you build it now like Father's Day ideas, even though it might last minute Father's Day ideas, because people are going to screw up and be like last minute Father's Day gifts. So last minute Father's Day gifts. And then when next year rolls around in April, May, you update that and say, hey, don't miss out. Here are some extra products. So you're updating it. You're keeping that dynamic content, which Google loves. And then you're just upgrading the post, adding more text to it. So I would create pillar posts, basically is what everybody calls them. Create those pillar posts, Mother's Day gift ideas, Father's Day gift ideas. Think of all the different holidays, graduation gift ideas, realtor gift ideas. After the closing, what are you going to give your clients? Hey, we've got something that has a custom touch that shows that you care. Right? I would do those and just curate your products. It's another way to showcase. And then when you meet a realtor, you can just send them to a link. Hey, here, go to milkhousegifts.com/realtor ideas.
Okay.
Right to the blog post. Helpful?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. I love what you're doing. I love the business, and hopefully this is going to help you get some more business and grow your business with Dale. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for opening up your website and allowing me to kind of give you some constructive criticism. And thank you for being a partner and helping me to educate more people in the Merrimack Valley, because together we've helped a lot of business owners. So
that's the thing. I consider myself a small business champion, and I just want to keep helping them grow, and especially with what we all just went through.
Yeah, that's what I want to. The only thing that I want is just to take whatever I understand, and some of it's really complex, and then break it down and make it easy for people to just grow their business. If we can do that, then we're making a dent, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This has been a Blueprint Strategy session. I want to thank Rayanne and Milkhouse Gifts for being our guest today. And if you would like to join in a Blueprint Strategy session, go to bryancaplan.com/go. You can apply for a session. Also, you can join our free marketing community, the Bigger, Better Biz marketing community, and be sure to subscribe to this channel and click the bell. You'll get an email in your inbox every time we come out with a new video, and there's tons of stuff coming down the pike. Until next time, stay well, stay healthy, stay happy. Here's to your success.